Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema. Sit down. It is bright. It is somewhat early, and it is a Thursday morning. I missed the 3 a.m. call again. I have no excuse. I didn't have anything going on softball. Next week, I have an excuse going bowling with the softball team. We're missing hanging out on Wednesdays now that the season's over. And I was up technically at 3:30. My eyes opened. I saw the time. I should have sat up. I said to myself, She-Hulk, and I closed my eyes, and then I woke up at 5:30. So by the time all of the normal viewing stuff was done, the sun was out. But that's okay because we're here now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to dive in, spoiler free, in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Season 1, Episode 5. Mean, green, and straight poured into these jeans. Which, if you have seen the episode, you'll understand that reference. But first and foremost, you see I'm rocking my New York Comic-Con t-shirt. This is the official tee for New York Comic-Con this year. You go, Corey, Comic-Con is not till October. You are correct. But when you buy your badge, which finally came at the end of last week, you sometimes get your pre-ordered gear. And I did, and I really dig this shirt. The back is really freaking dope. Like, I'm loving everything that's going on. Like I said, back here I got the badge, back hanging on the light so that I don't freaking lose it. But yeah, I'm pumped for New York Comic Con. I really love the type of year I'm having. Just this design really spoke to me personally. So I'm very, very pumped to be sporting this for the first time, a little bit before October. But obviously, we're not here to talk about Comic-Con. We're here to talk about She-Hulk. And Episode 5, not my favorite episode. I'm not nervous yet, but 2 episodes in a row now where we're still kind of avoiding whatever, like, the main kind of She-Hulk story is. Like, you go look at those first 3 eps. Really dug, how you were able to do the origin story in episode 1. You're able to establish the superhuman law division in episode 2, and you're able to get your first case and really see, Jen doing her thing in episode 3, and then you set up this thing with, the Wrecking Crew coming and trying to get Jen's DNA or blood in some capacity, right? Like, Homeboy tried to hit her with what looked like some kind of a syringe, a heavy-duty syringe, and obviously impenetrable skin. But the tone shift at the end of that episode, I've mentioned it each of the last 2 weeks, was very strong. Like, you went from kind of joking or, laughing at a not very good Wrecking Crew yet. Maybe it's the early days. I hope they get better. But, like, kind of laughing at the whole sequence. And then seeing Jen look at her reflection, kind of like, doesn't matter that I'm a superhero. I'm still running into the same type of BS that a woman could run into at any time walking in the street by themselves at night. And it's something that they mentioned kind of this episode, mild spoiler. But it's one of those things, like, you'd think She-Hulk would kind of, shake some of that off. Like, you'd be not have to think about stuff like that. But much like Bruce says in episode 1, as a Hulk, things, bad and weird things will just come find you. And it's kind of been disappointing for me to see a really strong setup start to lean away from what I thought we were building to, like who the core villain is for the season, and how that could lead to us running into Daredevil and Matt Murdock, and I just patiently wait for those things. And the last 2 weeks, last week I thought was a solid episode. I was just a little disappointed that we were kind of steering away. This week, same thing. We're steering away, but like a less strong episode. It's the tied for the shortest episode, but I'm telling you, it felt so much faster than episode 1 did for me. Like, I don't know. Like, there's just something missing about this episode. Like, we set things up really, really well. The open to the episode is hysterical. It's fantastic. The character that joins She-Hulk for that open, really, really wonderful. And as you know, like, we're coming out of the end of last episode where Titania is suing for, the trademark of She-Hulk to make Jen stop using it because she's trademarked it. And, like, how they open it was wonderful. We get, a little bit of fun with Nikki and Pug, and having no Pug last week and very minimal Nikki this week. When they set some of that stuff up, I got really excited, and then I feel like it failed on a secondary payoff to that storyline. And then our main, story is obviously going down in the courtroom, and while there's good stuff there, Renee Elise Goldsberry comes back as Mallory Book, and you get to kind of see her interact with Jen and She-Hulk a little bit more, which is fun. There's some great things there. But like even the courtroom stuff, it just felt like it was really fast, and everything just happened so quick. And all of a sudden, like it was like whiplash. The episode was over, and mild spoiler, there's no post credit this week. And in both the realm of Nikki and Pug's storyline, as well as stuff that's tying Tatiana and Maslany into the B plotline. Like we get a lot more Nikki than we do Pug, and it has to kind of do with what's going on in the B plot. And there were just elements of it that like I felt like they were missing. Like you're doing very traditional classic type sequences for what's going on in these moments, and these moments involve Griffin Matthews, who I won't reveal what his role is, but he of course is from Flight Attendant, Kaylee Cuoco's other flight attendant co-worker who happens to work for either the CIA also, or if not them, the FBI. Like great to see him pop up, and everything that's kind of going on in that storyline. It has similar flows of things that we've seen in the past, and there were payoff aspects of that felt like they were missing. Like we got really close, and then it was like, oh, we didn't show the build up at all that you could have shown, that we've seen shown before, and you didn't show the payoff where like you could have had Jen and She-Hulk having a lot of fun, and especially like from a non superhero like kind of girly way. Like it's one of these things that She-Hulk really hasn't mastered yet. It would have been fun to see Tatiana Maslany playing in this realm a little more as Jen and She-Hulk. And for those reasons, like the episode was just kind of disappointing. Like yes, the 31 minutes that we get, minus credits and stuff, like it's good. I enjoy it. I laugh a lot. You'll see in the reactions. Like anytime I'm watching She-Hulk, I'm having a good time. But this week it just felt like the writing kind of dropped off a little bit, and I'm still just waiting to see what the ultimate goal of this is. Like I think not making fun of, but like playing into the idea of a serialized courtroom show, albeit at a half-hour clip. Like there's things to do there, and in those types of serialized shows, the middle of your season does typically kind of dip, and you just kind of get standard episodes because you're waiting for, back in the day it was like February sweeps and stuff like that, and like moments where like you're gonna really drive up your storyline because you need high ratings, and playing with that's fun, but I don't know, it feels like there's stuff we could be accomplishing that we're not. And last week was like that, but the episode was really strong. This week is like that, but I think the episode's a little bit weaker. Like I said, I love Tatiana Maslany. She has a moment in the early parts of the episode where that wonderful facial expression acting that she does kind of kicks in, and like she has a moment where I was like, that is skill, man, and it really pops. Just the way she's taking on the characters, how she deals with things inside of the episode, like it's stuff that I really dig. But her fourth wall breaking stuff wasn't the strongest this episode, and like I said, the courtroom stuff wasn't the strongest. And Jamila Jamil pops up here. We finally get to see her really kind of do, or at least perform a little bit more as Titania. And, the performance is fun. How they utilize her as an influencer, like, I think it makes sense in how they're utilizing and playing with her right now. But, like, I don't know, same thing. It's like, I'd like to see a little bit more depth to Titania's character and her storyline, and, like, how they're going to tie together more, if they do at all. It's one of those things where, I don't know, like, I feel like we could have given Jamila Jamil some better stuff, and hopefully we get some more Titania as we get throughout the course of these last 4 episodes, and maybe we get to see some more of what was kind of teased in the first episode for her. But she's super enjoyable always. Renee Elise Goldsberry, same thing. Nice to have her pop up. The stuff they give her is fun this week, and I think her and Maslany really play well off of each other. Ginger Gonzaga and Josh Segarra, who play Nikki and Pug, fantastic. They're 2 of my favorite elements of the show, and while we got a lot more Nikki this episode, we only got a little bit more Pug, and I could have used one more scene with them together. It could have been the post-credit for all, if you wanted it to be that way. That would have been a fine spot to throw something extra on there, but just felt like Pug got a little shortchanged, and like those 2 as like your sidekick characters having their own storyline, I think would have been a little bit more fun if we did a little bit more with them. So, I mean, the elements are here. Like I said, Griffin Matthews pops in. He's just fantastic. I mean, the role they give him, pitch perfect, like just crushed it, But again, very, very short, and I don't think there's any reason why we couldn't have had 5 to 6 more minutes in this episode, considering we've had 37 and 38 minute eps. Like, you could have added a little bit more here, and been another one of those misdirect episodes, but could have been closer to last week, where it's like, all right, we're not really diving into like the She-Hulk main storyline stuff, but like last week's episode is a ton of fun. You get really, for the show, iconic moment, like Madison, immediately iconic. Wongers, come on, like phenomenal things in there, and here we get like tastes of that. So let's get the Sea Maniacs up. Good performances. I don't think the performances are ever going to lack in this show. Maslany is phenomenal. The supporting cast she has around her this week is a lot of fun. I mean, even down to Steve Coulter, who's played in Holden Holloway. Not a ton for him, but he gets a little bit of fun at the beginning, and then more of like a kind of gag bit in the animated credits. The animated credits are fun every week, and stuff that's going on with him, I was like, love that. So look, the way they utilize their characters and the performances we're getting, I typically like a lot. I just felt like you could have added some more for Nikki and Pug. That was set up in the episode, and there was time to play with. And I think you could have, made the courtroom stuff hit a little bit harder, or be a little bit like, it's a silly case to a degree, but like it seemed so fast and easy. I was just like, we didn't really have time to spend with all of our characters. So I don't know. This episode was it was really quick. It felt like here's a scene, 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 and we're gonna just loosely kind of thread them together rather than making a real tight knit 31-minute episode, much like episode 2 was. So for me, I enjoy what we get here. I don't love it as much as I've loved other episodes. I feel like we're still kind of holding back from the stuff that's going to really make this show shine. And, it's a little disappointing. But we got 4 episodes left. There's still some big things coming. We get some teases this week. There's stuff to be excited about. But for me, I got to go 2.5 out of 5. I didn't like it as much as last week's episode. And like I said, while last week I was wanting more of what was coming out of the end of episode 3, the episode was really, really solid across the board. This week, entertaining, enjoyable, but I thought it was lacking a little bit. So 2.5 out of 5 for me. Now I want to know what you're thinking. Where you fall on She-Hulk, man. Have you been enjoying the show? What about the show that you like is either here or missing in this episode? For me, I feel like some of the self-aware stuff was a little weak. No post-credit. Like, there's definitely, it feels like there's some stuff missing, but maybe you didn't bump up against that. Maybe you just thoroughly enjoyed it. So anything that you guys got, let me know what's going on. Keep it spoiler-free, but good, bad, indifferent on She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, Season 1, Episode 5. Mean, green, and straight poured into these jeans. Put it down below. Let me know if that reference, if you know what that reference is, and the stuff that's going on in the courtroom this week. Let me know if that was stuff that was hitting for you. But you can put all of it down below in the comments section. Forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to be here for our weekly coverage on She-Hulk. Sandman coverage is coming out as quick as I can get to them. Anything that's just going on in the world, you dig the vibe, you want to show a little love and support, well, hey, come join C-Maniac Nation. Super easy. All you got to do is jump over there, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts when I drop them new videos. And until next time, for the C-Man's Cinema, sit down. I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Oh, hey, what's going on? You must be sticking around because you're looking for more content featuring this guy. Well, guess what? You're in the right place. You can check out more videos right here and right here. And if you have and you want to come join that C-Maniac Nation, you can hit that subscribe right over there.